This week on Star Wars Sucks. We're going to be doing more time traveling than the Marvel multiverse, breaking our own rules, and double dipping because we can. That's right. All right, it's going to be a good one. Stick around. Oh, that never gets old. That is the jam. That is the bop, as kids said 4 years ago.
I don't think so.
I don't know. Howdy, succulents. Welcome to Star Wars Sucks, your non-toxic, low-sodium Star Wars show that doesn't make you feel bad for not knowing that Jango Fett was only 44 years old when he died. Poor guy. Aww. So whether you're a hardcore fan or just a little swarzy curious, this is your Star Wars safe space. We are the Circle of Nerds, and we do absolutely love Star Wars, even if we don't always like it. So let's meet the team, shall we? If you are ready, team. Sherry is trying so hard not to yawn right now. To my left, your right, star of stage and screen, it's the sensational and sleepy Sherry.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Yeah, I need to wake up.
Right. And from the Outer Rim territory of Bostoween, it is Daddy Louie, who is
not
here again.
Hello, children.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what he said?
Hello, children.
Creeper.
I'll be your Daddy Louie today.
No,
What was
Do it.
All right. And hailing from parts unknown, it's T to the Oni.
Welcome back to the galaxy, everybody.
Hey, and I am Tommy D, your more than slightly obnoxious Star Wars know-it-all. So what do we... Come on, man.
Oh.
Come on. Oh, jeez. Trying to figure out what all these buttons are.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so what are we doing here? Our mission is to watch all of the Star Wars, all of the canon films and TV shows in chronological order, breaking them down, connecting the dots, and learning more about Star Wars, and maybe even a little bit about ourselves. So we hope that you're going to come along this journey with us, especially if you're a new fan of Star Wars. Definitely come on this ride with us. It's going to be a good time. So warning, there will be spoilers.
Yes.
So be prepared. We will do our best to make sure that we don't spoil anything in the future, but the episodes we're talking about today, obviously there will be spoilers. So a little bit of news. On Friday, June the 14th, which I believe is next week.
Yes, that would be correct.
Yes. So we're going to be recording the show live from Daddy Louie's Cantina. We're going to be live streaming on Facebook and YouTube. So make sure you're following us at the SWS show on all of your social media platforms. And make sure you're subscribing to us so you never miss an episode and you don't miss out on those alerts. So if you do happen to miss us live, the new episode will drop Saturday the 15th in the morning, as it will always until the end of time. So let's get into this thing. Let's go. Let's boogie. So last week we talked about Tales of the Jedi, season 1, episode 4. And of course that was we all agreed that it was a bit of a heavy episode. Poor Yaddle.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Poor Yaddle.
I mean, that was ridiculous.
Oh man. And Sherry, you had brought up a really good point about that. Did anyone go looking for her?
Yeah, in this, I mean, no one mentioned her
It's like,
in the movie.
Right, that's it.
Like,
she's just gone.
like she's just dead.
It's been 10 years and nobody mentions it.
Nothing about Yaddle at all.
I thought there would be something. I was actually a little bit disappointed about it.
Yeah. Like we never hear about her ever again. Now, maybe in the comics or in the books, something, but as far as TV and film.
Yeah, but on this, what we're watching, I
will say I know it happens much later in this movie, but there's a point where I was kind of looking for a blood stain and I didn't see one. So I don't know.
I got you.
Well, I mean, after 10 years, I figured, they'd have cleaned up.
Maybe.
I mean, they go back to the scene of the crime. I mean, Dooku goes back to the spot where he sauced Yaddle.
The only thing he did sauce her. The only thing I could think of is that it's because one was the animated series and then the movie. So they're probably like, well, people are not going to know who that is.
Sure.
But they could have done a little nod to fans that know what happened.
I don't think anybody's going to be. I mean, Yaddle's not going to nod because her head's gone, right? I mean, there's no nodding there.
It's too soon.
Is it too soon?
If you got the head in the body, you could make her a bobblehead and she could nod, but you know.
Yikes. Yikes, Tony. So I don't know. And you know what? Maybe there was something mentioned in the Clone Wars animated series. I have only watched the series once, and I don't think I've watched the entire series.
So maybe the next.
So maybe we'll see something about Yaddle. But as far as I know, like that's just a wrap. A Jedi Council member who recently quit the council because she agreed with Dooku, quits the council, and then just poof, Desparu, gone, disappeared.
Maybe they were like good riddance.
Yeah, maybe the Jedi were just like, well, all right, well,
because
fuck you.
Didn't agree with what they were doing.
Bye. Be gone, stay gone.
That could have been his ally. I'm sad for her.
I am too.
But anyway,
I am too, and she should have gone with somebody. So that's a rule to remember here, kids. Always travel with a buddy.
Always travel in pairs.
Always travel in pairs. I mean, granted, they still would have got. I mean, both of them would have got sauced. I mean, that's Sidious and Tyrannus.
Well,
you're not. I mean, you're not. You're just not. You're not going to do anything against the two of them. You're going to be done, sauced.
Don't take my word.
I'm trying to.
You're trying to make it mainstream.
Yeah, I'm trying. It's a good word. So I don't know. About a year ago. I think, about a year ago, out of nowhere.
No, we were coming down the street and somebody died, and I was like, yeah, they got sauced.
Wait, what? Did we witness a death on the side of the road or something?
No, it was an animal, I think, of some sort.
Just the way you said it. Yeah, we're just driving down the road, and there's some dead body. It's like, yep, they got sauced.
You don't know my life.
So I think it's a great word. It replaces, murked.
Right.
Or
right.
I don't know. I'm sure there's like 50 other words.
Sauce is a good one.
I love it. Yeah. So I'm trying to coin it, make it mainstream. But you get your credit. So every time someone says it, they owe you a nickel.
I know, for real. What's up?
All right. So anyway,
I got a Venmo. Okay.
All right. So episode 1 or season 1, episode 4, Tales of the Jedi, definitely worth a watch. It's heavy. A lot of questions answered. More questions have emerged. And I really do want to find out what the hell happens to. We know what happens to Yaddle, but does anyone go looking for her? Does anyone wonder, or it's just like are Jedi Masters just a dime a dozen? It's like we got more. We got more. But as far as we know of that species, it's just Yoda and Grogu. We don't know about any more. Grogu should have been there for that. Grogu was there.
Well, he was.
He was alive. He was
alive.
He was alive. He may. I'm guessing he was probably at the academy.
Yeah.
Or at the Jedi Temple. I'm thinking that when Yoda went to inspect the clone troopers, I think, or somebody, or maybe Sifo-Dyas, someone got a hold of Yoda's DNA. I think Grogu.
Why couldn't it be Yaddle's and
you think they stood
and Yoda? Why not?
You think they did it?
I mean, there's a female and a male. I mean,
their little green bodies entwined in the beautiful agony of the beast with two backs.
Yes. Except she spoke like perfect
English,
which
she did. And he sounded like he was from
what's wrong with Yoda?
Like he was a crackhead from Hoboken, New Jersey.
I'm not going to say it, but it was weird.
Maybe he had a speech impediment. Maybe he's got some, I don't know. Maybe he had some mental health issues.
That is possible.
He's been through some shit.
He has.
Yoda's been through some shit, but he was talking like that during the High Republic era with the young Jedi adventures. So I'm just gonna say it's a speech impediment, and I'm not gonna shit on Yoda for having a disability.
Right.
So
correct. That's
not what we're about here.
Correct.
So let's continue, shall we?
Yeah. Let's move forward.
All right. So this week we're going to be talking about Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Released May 16th, 2002. Holy shit, that was a long time. 2002. The second installment of the prequel trilogy takes place 22 BBY, 10 years after The Phantom Menace. Attack of the Clones continues the story of a growing Anakin Skywalker and his journey through the Force. We see his relationship develop more with former Queen of Naboo and now Senator Padme Amidala. And we see the opening battle of the Clone Wars. So a lot was going on in this episode. There was a lot to unpack in Attack of the Clones. I think more so than The Phantom Menace, but there's a lot going on. So also today, as a bonus, we're going to be talking a little bit about the first 2 episodes of The Acolyte and some of the controversy surrounding the show. So, yeah. And that takes place 100 years before the events of The Phantom Menace. So that's, 132 BBY, I believe. Speaking of BBY, not BBC, but BBY, ABY. So the events in Star Wars A New Hope, the first Star Wars film released in 1977. The events in that film are considered year 0 on the Star Wars timeline. So anything happening before is BBY, anything happening after is ABY. And so you'll hear us referring to those terms from time to time. So who wants to go first today? Sherry, Tony?
Oh, I don't care.
I mean, I'm willing to. It doesn't matter.
Man, we are on it today.
Go ahead, Tony. Go ahead.
All right.
Tony,
so
to start.
This movie, well, first off, say I enjoyed a great deal, more than I remember enjoying it the first time that I saw it way back in 2002.
Okay.
So, but I did make a decent amount of notes on it because there were some things, especially in light of the way that we're doing this, that kind of was curious about. And so my first question when it comes to this is Dooku himself. We've hinted on a little bit here about the intro, but so they always refer to him as Count Dooku. They've never referred to him, at least as far as I've seen, with one exception, they never referred to him as Master Dooku. So when exactly did he leave the Jedi Order?
Dooku? So it had to have been
well, like right
would have had to have been after the incident.
I'm thinking after
the Jedi Episode 2.
Yes.
Yeah. After Qui-Gon died,
but
he never came back.
Yeah,
they refer to him as Count Dooku even before that.
Well, Qui-Gon called him Master.
Sure.
Maybe they didn't respect him.
Well, he was a count. I mean, he was Count Dooku that based off of his lineage, his heritage.
Nobility,
yeah. That's his. That wasn't a Jedi title.
I get what you're saying.
The reason I ask is because, like, I'm just curious. Like, I would think that if I were Sidious, it would be more help to my plan to have Dooku stay within the ranks of the Jedi, and having an inside eye.
Right.
But obviously he didn't, and that's fine. But then also in this movie, it was specifically referred to, I think, by Mace Windu, that Dooku's a former Jedi. Assassination, like it couldn't be him. So obviously they don't know about Yaddle.
Correct.
No, or
that would not be said.
He probably also saw Sifo-Dyas. But he blamed the Jedi Council and Sidious for the death of Qui-Gon. I think when Qui-Gon died, that was a wrap for him. He was like, I'm out.
Put him over the edge.
Right. And he also he didn't want to be on the council. I mean, he did, but he didn't. He wanted to do more of a diplomatic mission. So he was more about the diplomacy side of things, and he didn't have faith in the ruling body. He didn't have faith in the council. So why should he be a part of it? And then once Qui-Gon, died, that was it for him. He's like, I'm done. The Senate's corrupt. The Jedi protects the corruption in the Senate. So I'm out, which then made him easy pickings for Sidious. And yeah,
So
I agree with you
get
on
what
one
you're
hand.
saying.
Yeah, I agree with you on one hand that maybe it's better to have that inside guy with the Jedi, but Dooku's, diplomatic skills, as we see in Attack of the Clones, he brought everybody together. I mean, he created, the Separatist alliance.
Right.
I mean, he brought all these star systems to Sidious, basically. So I feel like, and Sidious is such the master chess player that he knows exactly where to put people. Like, he needs Dooku in the field gathering these systems and sowing dissent. He's got eyes and ears in the Jedi Council already through Anakin.
True.
And yeah, so anything that's going on with the Jedi, Anakin's probably dropping that info.
Fair. The second thing for this movie, and I particularly, it's extremely convoluted, and like I understand that they make it very clear that and we talked about this last episode. Sidious is playing holo chess while the rest of us are playing checkers. But I mean, so Sidious wants Padme dead, but he doesn't want to do it himself, so he hires Dooku to do it. But Dooku won't do it himself, so he gets Jango to do it. But Jango won't do it himself, so he gets the shapeshifter to do it.
Yep.
And then the shapeshifter does the thing with the robot and the bugs and all that. Okay, fine. When that plan fails, Jango kills the shapeshifter. But it's only because he did that Obi-Wan even found the clone army on Kamino.
Yeah. Jango kind of fucked up by killing Zam Wessel.
Did he?
Like, I mean, she was about to drop his name, but like you said, I mean, they ended up finding him anyway.
But did he?
Did he fuck up?
I mean, the thing is, like, if he doesn't do that, then none of the plot of the movie happens.
Correct.
But
so we kind of need that to happen. Otherwise, there's no movie.
It's a very interesting plot device, especially if you consider, like, if we really are believing that Sidious is thinking that far ahead, killing Padme now doesn't help him in his grand scheme.
But does he actually want Padme dead?
I think he knew it wouldn't happen.
Or is he using these attempts on her life as a way to push her and Anakin closer together so he can eventually we know what happens, but
sure,
he's like Sherry, like you and I were talking about before, Sidious is using Anakin's love against him.
Yeah.
And it's working. I mean, it is working. You saw how angry he got with Zam Wessel trying to get the info on who the assassin was, who was trying to kill Padme. I mean,
everyone is a pawn.
Yeah.
In his game. I think he just does it for fun, to be honest. Because he already has the power.
No, but it's not solidified yet. He needs that absolute power.
But I know that. But what I'm saying is,
and he needs an apprentice. And I think I don't know if he's doing it so much for funsies as he is that he needs this apprentice. He knows how powerful Anakin is, and he's not going to be able to get Anakin through traditional means and methods.
Right.
Because Anakin is not weak. Dooku was not weak. But you see that he uses Dooku's disillusionment against him. Dooku is salty about the state of the Republic. And so Sidious is like, yep, gotcha. That's your weakness. Because you have no other weakness. You're too strong.
Right.
Anakin, the same way, incredibly strong. His weakness is love. And I see a cat moving the tripod again. Every week. Every week she comes down here and wants to rub on the tripod. It's fine.
Hey, so she's trying to get her cameo. It's okay.
Right. Well, all of our listener can't see this anyway. So
no, I but it's just Minerva.
Every week.
And she's like, what? I'm putting my scent on it. Anyway.
Yes.
Go ahead, Tony.
Outside of that, there's a lot of interesting dialogue in this movie that is very much foreshadowing, and I'm not going to touch on it because we're trying to avoid spoilers for future movies. So I'm going to skip past that and just say that I know it. But there are a few things that are quotes that really hit me, that really stuck with me.
Okay.
That aren't foreshadowing. So I wanted to bring a couple of them up. The first one, Padme tells Anakin, "Don't grow up too fast." And when you consider this poor girl was the queen of her planet at 14 years old.
14. Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's... I wouldn't trust a 14-year-old to babysit, let alone...
So do you feel that in some ways that she probably, she lost a bit of her innocence? Obviously, I mean, she had to deal with a fucking war on her planet, so that's no way to grow up.
But I mean,
and she said she wasn't the youngest. She said she wasn't the youngest elected.
Just crazy.
It is crazy.
Just crazy.
Did you have more?
There's a scene where Obi-Wan is trying to find out about Kamino and goes to speak to Yoda, and Yoda's training the younglings, and that reminded me of Young Jedi Adventures, and I just thought that one little thing.
Oh yeah, I know, super cute.
Yoda was clowning him, man. I didn't appreciate it. He disrespected Obi-Wan.
No, he didn't.
He disrespected Obi-Wan. He's like, missing a planet, Obi-Wan is how embarrassing. Man, fuck
joking.
You. Fuck. In front of the kids?
Fuck them kids.
Well,
they're gonna.
Well, I mean,
No, I'm joking.
They won't be younglings for long.
It was a joke in a classroom. It's making the kids feel good.
Feel that they can disrespect the Jedi Master? Is that what they're feeling? Is that what they're feeling?
No.
Inappropriate, Yoda. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Can we not laugh? Fuck.
Not at somebody else's back.
Shut up.
Disrespect.
Speaking of the of missing a planet, like I know how computers work here on Earth. Do the Jedi Archives not have a change log that they could go back and see? Hey, somebody deleted this.
Like, apparently not.
Is that not a thing?
Dooku was very thorough. We saw in Tales of the Jedi exactly how he did it. He pushed 3 buttons. He pulled out a little disc, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I know we saw it. I'm just saying, like.
I did like.
I know. If somebody did that to my computer, I could figure out who did it. But that's okay.
Yeah. It's magic.
And then the librarian, another one disrespecting Obi-Wan.
No, she was.
Yeah. If it's not in the Jedi Archives, it doesn't exist.
No, that's not disrespect. That's arrogance. Bitch, you don't know everything.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. But anyway,
that was another one that Yoda has a line about arrogance and it being a trait more and more common among the Jedi, and I'm like, yeah. Well, with the librarian, we see it. I mean, among the Jedi Council, we see it among just about everybody.
I never did like her. She shows up all over the place. Jedi librarian Jocasta. Shut the fuck up. I don't like her. She's a badass, but I don't care for her. Get out of here.
And then the other thing, and this just again goes to the timeline and my confusion because it's something that doesn't really get brought up too much in the media that I've seen and experienced. When Obi-Wan is on Kamino and he's talking to the cloners and they say, the Order was created by Sifo-Dyas about 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well,
10 years ago was the same canonical year of Phantom Menace.
Yep.
So was Sifo-Dyas actually alive then, or was somebody pretending to be him and doing it? Or what?
We'll find out.
Well, I think Obi-Wan mentions that. Who mentions that?
He mentioned something. I thought he had died earlier than that.
Yes. So obviously he probably didn't put in the order. It was probably Sidious.
We will learn more about.
Don't
I know. I'm just saying we will learn more about Jedi Master Sifo-Dyas, but where we're at right now, it is still a mystery.
Right. So he does mention it. Like, I thought he died earlier. What's up?
Right.
So even they're confused.
Right.
That's okay.
So, but we do know that he did die 32 BBY. So they think that's Phantom Menace era. Yeah. So, but we'll learn more about Cypher Diaz as the Clone Wars continue.
Cool. Yeah. Beyond that, I mean, obviously the battle on Geonosis is fun. You don't see a lot of it because they cut around it, but it's pretty clear that they lost a good number of Jedi there.
They did.
But yet, Clone Army showed up and they got out of there and all that. Visually fun and all that, but obviously that's not what we're talking about. But I think that story-wise did a very good job of setting up where we're heading next. And I'm really looking forward to that because obviously, as far as theatrical stuff is concerned, we've started the Clone War to essentially the Clone War is just about over.
Right, but we've got
by the time we get to episode
3. But we've got a long way to go before we get to episode 3 because we're going to be diving into the Clone Wars animated series, and that's 7 seasons. And some bad.
I'm very much looking forward to it because I have not seen any of it yet, and so that's going to be a lot of fun for me. Yeah, that's what I got for this movie.
Nice.
So I really only have one thing to say. I wasn't going to weigh in, but I have to. You
say so much.
I'm
joking.
Just a little bit because, and Sherry, you and I talked about this already a little bit, but like there's a couple of things about the movie I don't like in terms of story. One of them is, I guess, probably one of the biggest things. It's the love affair between Padme and Anakin. It just
is poop.
We do get more obviously from the animated, but it's just like it just felt so. It felt forced. It felt like an afterthought. It's like, let's just get them together real quick. It
was a little corny to me.
It's super corny. It was super corny. And I'm sorry, but Padme is that girl. She is that girl because she knew Anakin was into her. She's into him too, which is weird, but she knew that he had feelings from the moment that she saw him again. She's like, "Oh my, you've grown." I mean, she didn't say it like that, but seriously. And he said, what did he say in response? "So have you, more beautiful." Right? So, and immediately, all women know when dudes are crushing on them. She knew immediately. And then when they're at the lake house, sitting by the fire, what is she wearing? Her little bondage outfit.
Okay, first of all,
her titties are spilling out. She's wearing a choker.
Calm down.
She's wearing her choker, knowing that Anakin likes to choke.
How about you need to stop.
She doesn't know that yet.
She finds out.
Spoiler.
She finds out.
But you're spoiling it.
I'm sorry.
You're spoiling it. That's just her outfit.
Okay. Come on.
Or are you going to try?
Okay, at dinner, she was covered up.
Okay, they were by the fire. She took off her little jacket.
Did she have to wear that particular
that's not taking off the jacket. That's an entire outfit change. And
that's
she knew what she was doing.
Outfit change. She changes more than Beyonce. She changes after every scene. She has a different outfit. And she wore all that knowing how pent up that young man is. That 19-year-old boy.
Well, first of all.
Showing all her titties and a little choke. She looked hot as fuck. She looked hot as Mustafar. She was hot. Hotter than the twin sons of Tatooine. Hot.
Yeah. I do have these things in my notes. I wasn't going to bring them up.
Well, I'm going to bring them.
He's putting in this spank bank and shit.
Okay, yeah, but
one of my notes is literally just.
I'm also not 19 years old. She's like,
Wink.
we can't do this, Anakin. I'm a senator. You're a Jedi. We can't do this, and we can't do it. We can't do it on the creep either. But I'm going to give you a little look, a little tease, a little appetizer at what you can't have. Anyway, Anakin, have a good night. See you tomorrow.
So anyhow,
no.
And then he has a dream, and she comes out like,
I heard you last night. Oh, I'll go with you. Shut up.
Don't tell her that's not
no.
nice.
She's the reason. I used to think it was Darth Jar Jar. Now it's Darth Padme. She is the reason that he turned to the dark side.
Want to go there?
She's the reason.
Not the reason.
Anakin.
She's not the reason.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out.
Was trying to keep him from certain things.
He went to the dark side to save her.
He did not. He went to the dark side to save his mother. And Sidious is the one that turned.
We're gonna find out more. I don't want to spoil it. We're gonna find out more.
I see parallels there between what Anakin did in this movie and what Dooku did in Tales of the Jedi Episode 2. He dipped into the dark side, but tries to come back from it.
Yes.
And there's a part where he's talking to her afterwards, and he says, "I know I'm better than this."
Yeah.
So he's trying to bounce back from it, but then it's her life at risk again, and then he loses his shit. And that's
and his mom. I mean,
that was rough.
That's rough, and she had a good life. She had a good ending. He couldn't even see that. So I think that's one of the things that I took from it is that he didn't see that, she had a good life at the end. She had a loving family. Obviously it sucks what happened, but she was okay with it. I think that, and she stayed alive probably just to see him. She probably knew, he would come.
Oh, it was so sad.
And she saw him and she's like, I'm good now. I can go. And he couldn't accept that. And I think that's the big thing too. He had to accept that death is a part of life. That's just the way it is.
You bring up a very, very, very good point that when he left her, she was a slave. She wasn't exactly living in squalor or chains, but she was still a slave.
No, Quado.
That's what is that?
That's
or the Running Man, right?
No,
not the Running Man. Total Recall.
Quaid. But anyway, good movie as well.
Great movie. And then so he spent his entire childhood wondering and missing her, not ever knowing, like you said, that she eventually found happiness and love.
And that's where the Jedi fuck up.
They kept it.
That's where they fuck up because he could have went to see his mother. That's dumb.
But the Jedi are like, you can't have attachment.
That doesn't make any sense. You came from this woman's womb. You're attached. There is no
right.
You can't unattach. Even when kids are estranged, you're still fucking attached.
Of course.
So they could have told him, hey, she was bought out of slavery. She has a loving husband, stepkid, whatever. And that might have set him at ease.
And that's, let me ask you guys this too, Sherry, because again, that's a great point. How do you think Anakin would have progressed had he known that his mom was safe and happy with a loving family, instead of going from, seeing her in slavery, not knowing shit for 10 years, and then finding her imprisoned and tortured to almost death?
I think if they were taught correctly, like they should be, the younglings, all of them, they should not lose ties with family, but they should know that it's like I don't know how to say it. You can't have an attachment, but you can at the same time.
Yeah.
Like they need to know the difference of attaching themselves to do something greater in life, even though they have family and loved ones.
Well, it's like what Anakin had said. He said that, when he and Padme were disguised as refugees in their opulent clothing.
The fuck.
And he had said that it's, it's part of our main, the Jedi's main teaching and belief is compassion, for others, which he said is at the root, true unconditional love. So, in some ways, the Jedi mandate is to have love for others, but you can't be in love.
which is dumb.
Yeah. So, or
100%.
or like you had said before too, teach them those coping mechanisms. Because there's no doubt that if let's say that he had known all this time that mom was in good shape, she was good, she was healthy,
right?
And then found out that she got taken. He had his vision, found out she was taken, went in there, got her. Would he have gone ham on the entire Tusken tribe? Or do you think that he would have just like sauced a couple, got mom, and bugged out?
Maybe not the kids and the women.
Yeah.
I don't.
Because he was full of fear and rage and
he
sadness
just used
and
the dark
anger.
Side.
Oh yeah.
Like that was straight up.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I don't think he would have killed everyone. I think he would have killed who was in the vicinity, and then took her. Maybe. I mean, that's just a hypothesis.
Obviously. Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean,
we don't know. This is how it was written, but
it's like everything that the Jedi talk about leading to the dark side, the fear,
they teach it,
the anger, all of that. I mean, Anakin had all of those things, and it's like nothing was done to help him cope. And then he turns into a school shooter.
Yes.
Basically, I mean,
exactly.
I don't know. It's kind of messed up.
It's nurturing.
It is.
Is it nurture over nature?
The Jedi, nurture over nature. But I feel the Jedi are just as responsible for his fall as Sidious and Padme.
Oh, yeah. It's a combination.
And Jar Jar.
Oh, for sure.
But mostly Sidious.
What do you think about
Jedi
Jar
Order and
Jar,
Padme.
Tony? Did you have any opinions on him?
Oh, this guy.
No, I'm serious.
No, I mean, honestly, I think considering the minor role he was given in the movie, I think he did fine.
Right?
It seems like he matured in a good way from the previous movie. The voice and the manner of speaking is still just personally annoying to me, but that's what his people do. That's what his people do. It's whatever. It's fine.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, the fact that he went ahead and did what he thought was the right thing to do to try and push the plot forward.
He got played so hard.
Well, I know.
Of course he did. But considering that who he got played by plays everybody, I can't blame him for that.
Oh no. I mean, you figure people like Anakin and Dooku got played, so I mean, but it's just the way Palpatine did it. He's such a dick. Gee, I sure wish someone had the courage to propose this in the Senate. Oh, if only Padme were here. I don't know. So he's such a dick. He is such a dick. Like, I used to really like Palpatine, but like the more I watch, it's like, you're just a fucking asshole, man. I mean, some evil leaders you can kind of be like, oh, all right, good job, buddy. I can't get down to the gym, but you just, enslaved an entire star system before breakfast. So well done, sir. But he's just
what I had noted was that, like, I know it's been 10 years, and you definitely see, the difference in age between, Obi-Wan from one movie to the next, Anakin from one movie to the next, Padme to a point from one movie to the next. I don't know if it's just the makeup that they did or whatnot, but Palpatine looks considerably older in this movie than he did in the last one.
Yeah.
It's the evil, man.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's
the dark side.
Yeah.
You can only put so much foundation on that shit.
That's true.
And
it was only 10 years.
It was only 10 years.
You would think he wouldn't look that old.
But I mean, look at Obi-Wan, but over 18 years on Tatooine. I mean,
so cute.
He is, but if you look at him from Revenge of the Sith to A New Hope, that motherfucker got old quick. Apparently there's no moisturizer on Tatooine. I mean, those twin sons are brutal as fuck. He's living as a hermit. He's working at the fish factory. I get it. I mean, I get it. He's living a hard life.
Oh, when he was in the caves.
Yeah, living in the caves. But still, it's like when I understand two completely different actors, Sir Alec Guinness, of course, in the original. I get it.
But we can't,
But
we can't talk about those.
I know. We can't talk about it. We're not there yet.
We're not
there yet. I've already said too much.
We're not there yet.
I've already said, and
I know I've vocalized my theory on that before. I won't do it again.
You're so funny.
Padme's combat midriff. The cat scratching off her whole ass shirt.
That was interesting. I did like. Listen,
scratched her back. How did she lose her whole front? How did she lose it?
She ripped it off because it was hanging and get in her way.
Okay. She probably, that's fine. And you know what? She's 24 years old. She's got a bod.
So
it's
show
fine.
what you want.
Cute.
Hello.
Still has no ass though. It's fine.
Oh Jesus.
She's still cute.
I did like. I like the animals that were attacking them. But I like monsters.
You are a monster gal.
I would 100% be their trainers. I would be their monster mom.
Would you be a Rancor trainer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely have a Rancor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, Attack of the Clones, overall, worth a watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean, if somebody is coming on this journey with us as we've done so far, if you got through the first movie, yeah, of course you're gonna watch the second movie. Of course, like.
Yeah, I like it because the way we're watching them, and like you said, it would, it's going to reveal itself, why we're watching them this way. And I learned a lot more about Dooku.
Yeah,
for sure. I had no idea. And I've seen them before with you,
right?
But like not in the order,
right? So now you have a little more insight.
Yeah. So I don't know. I kind of feel bad for him.
Yeah.
In all honesty. And Yaddle was his only ally, and he killed her anyway.
Oh man.
She was his ally. I don't think she would turn dark, but I think if he would have got away from
she could have pulled him. She could have pulled him in.
She could have pulled him in to make the proper change like Qui-Gon wanted.
Oh, and and now that we've been watching it in this order, when he is talking to Obi-Wan in the caverns on Geonosis, and he says, how Qui-Gon spoke fondly of you and how much I miss him. You could see it on his face. You could see it on that man's face, because up to this point, we just think Count Dooku is just another pawn. He's just another dick. And but we know so much more about Dooku now.
We know why he changed.
We know the depth. There's more depth to that character. So I'm very, very glad that they made those. I mean, yeah, they're just cartoons, but I'm glad they made them because they're great stories, Tales of the Jedi. Because now we have more about Dooku, and like you said, Sherry, we can feel a little bit more for him.
And Qui-Gon. I mean, yeah, he died, but you kind of understood what he was trying to do with the living force.
And we hear him. So for those of you that watched watched Attack of the Clones, and maybe only just watched it, now for the first time, if you missed it, go back and watch the scene where Anakin goes chicken killer on the entire Tusken village, and you hear Qui-Gon Anakin, like trying to talk him down, trying to talk him out of it. And it's just, and then, then we cut to Yoda, and Yoda's
and I didn't notice that before either. Did you notice that, Tony?
I did. But again, Qui-Gon's my favorite Jedi ever. And so anytime I hear his voice, I'm like,
oh yeah. Yeah. And we hear him throughout like Star Wars. I mean, again, Clone Wars, Rebels, we'll get more Qui-Gon. I didn't hear that before.
Yeah. I've seen it at least twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that at all. And it was kind of heartbreaking to hear it because you're just like, shit, he's with him and he's trying.
Yeah.
But
and that's also a little foreshadowing too for Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
By hearing him.
Oh yeah. He's in the ether.
He's in the ether. He's because we haven't seen any Force ghosts.
And it's Liam's birthday today.
Is it really?
Yes.
Happy birthday, cousin.
Birthday.
Liam Neeson. That is our guy.
Let me look here. He is 72 years old.
And still a good-looking fella.
Well, this picture doesn't do him justice that I have, but
The one with the weird handlebar mustache thing going on?
yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but
that's all right.
And then
good-looking fella.
Who else?
We got to get him on the show.
Oh, we haven't seen that one.
We got to get him on the show.
Well, you better do it now.
I feel like we missed our opportunity to do it. We should have had him on for the Phantom Menace episode.
Well, he ain't got nothing going on right now.
He really doesn't.
So
he'll get him on.
We could probably get him on the show.
Get him on.
Or at least a little voice dub or something.
He's family. He'll come on.
I know, right? We'll be like, what?
He's family. He's family.
Too.
Come on, buddy.
But yes, today is his birthday.
Happy birthday, cousin.
So
all right.
I didn't find anybody else.
So that's Attack of the Clones. Check it out. It's many, many layers. It is my least favorite film from the prequel trilogy.
Okay.
Just because I did not like Anakin's portrayal.
Yeah, it was
not
a lot.
Not that Hayden did a bad job. I think Hayden did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
It's the writing I didn't like, but our Lord and Savior Dave Filoni, he rectifies all that.
There is a lot of whining.
There's so much whining. He's overly critical. He never listens. Shut the fuck up.
I hate him.
Yeah, I think that's why. I think
he gets honestly, there are points in his dialogue where if I hadn't seen it before and I just heard somebody speaking that dialogue, I would expect dyed black hair and black fingernails.
What are you talking? What are you saying? No, I'm just
like he's going through a goth phase.
He was it's just
I'm just
he's
like
emo.
Oh my god, go listen to some My Chemical Romance, dude.
I like
chill. I know, so do I. But yeah,
he's emo, not goth. He's very emo.
Because what angered me was because we had 30 years of nothing, 30 years of no Star Wars except the books, and then I'm like excited to see Anakin Skywalker grow in the Force and become Darth Vader because that was my favorite character.
You just spoiled it.
I'm sorry.
What are you yelled at Tony?
I'm sorry.
Didn't he yell at us?
I didn't yell at anyone. I apologize.
He didn't yell, but he did make a point of we're trying not to do that.
I'll bleep it.
I'm in the room with him.
I'm gonna bleep it.
Yeah, you better bleep it.
So I was excited to see that.
Yeah.
And then when I did finally see him, like, that's not my Anakin.
Boo. No. Well, no, he is. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but Luke is the same way. So
you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. But again,
he's got to get it from somewhere.
And also, we're looking at a 19-year-old boy with the weight of the world on his shoulders. He is sexually frustrated. No thanks to Padme. And
again, has clearly been taught how to handle emotions.
Yeah.
She's teaching him how to handle emotion.
With his little robot hand now, right?
Yep.
That's not emotions he's handling.
Yikes. So.
But they're married down in love.
Yep, they're in love. Blarf.
Married in secret.
Mm-hmm. And it's only going to get worse. But again, Clone Wars, all of that is redeemed. So it gets better. So. But anyway, watch it. I agree with everybody here that it's definitely worth a watch. I mean, some of the things that we're going to watch throughout the course of this podcast, honestly, either listen to us or read it on the wiki, because some of the stuff that we're going to watch is going to be filler. Maybe not worth a watch. But so far, everything, we're 6 episodes in, everything that we've watched, I think is worth watching.
Yeah, I think we should. Well, I encourage them to watch everything because they might see something.
Oh, true.
We don't.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And you know how people are. Some people are like, "Well, I love that. Why didn't you like it?"
You're right. So watch it all.
So just
watch it all. A lot of very talented people spend a lot of time and money to make these things. So just watch it. Why not? So
absolutely. I mean, even Young Jedi Adventures, which I was in the camp of, if you're an adult, you don't need to see it.
Right.
It's fun. It's fun. Watch it. It's fun. I want to revisit it.
Make a little game out of it and have a good time. It's fine.
Right.
That's right. Tony's drinking game.
That's right. But I mean, it had, Yoda.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, well, that's kind of cool because he was so old. He was in all of the. I mean,
I still, you know what? And I'm excited that we're still talking about it because it was even though we only watched a few episodes,
Yeah.
it was so fun and it was so Star Wars. I mean, it felt Star Warsy. I mean, it really, really did. The action going through light speed. I mean, it's just, they nailed it. I mean, they really, really did. They nailed it. I mean, it was cutesy, of course, and it was, it's meant for 6-year-olds.
It's for children.
Right. But so is Star Wars.
I mean,
Star Wars, George Lucas himself said that it's meant for 12-year-olds. I mean, he I don't know what 12-year-olds need to see people get decapitated, but that's right,
Django.
Yeah, Django.
Apparently the ones that go on to become 14-year-old queens, but that's
yeah.
Oh.
And if you think about it, there's a lot of death in Star Wars. People get fucked up in Star Wars.
They do.
Like the opening
lots
scene.
Of limbs being lost.
Lots of limbs. Padme's double gets blown the fuck up.
She was sweet.
She was sweet.
But that's her job though.
Died in her arms. And Anakin's mom, Shmi, the way she died.
She died harsh.
She died harsh.
I was like, I thought she was just gonna.
No.
And she's like, oh. I was like, oh.
Eyes open. It's like in the Matrix when they pull the plug on you, just done.
Yeah, I was very shocked by that one.
I mean, you talk about trauma. Talk about childhood trauma. Shmi Skywalker went out hard.
Yeah.
She died not in a sweet romantic way. She was just like flop.
I just
turned off the lights. Done.
I just thought, she and that's it.
And then it's peaceful, like, oh
no, man.
No. She went back.
Jesus Christ.
If you haven't seen Shmi Skywalker's death scene, look it up. It's it hits different. It does. All right. So that's enough about
to go into spoiler territory, but compared to some of the other deaths we see on Tatooine, could be worse.
No, you're right. But this one,
I know.
This one had emotional weight.
No, I know. I'm just
like, most of the people who we see die in Star Wars, and I read something recently where it said in the original trilogy, there's over like 2 billion deaths in the original trilogy, just between the Death Stars and Alderaan, and then all of the other people, like people blowing up on ships, like some of the larger ships.
Oh,
I mean, they're crewed by tens of thousands of people. Anyway, again,
but
a lot of motherfuckers die in Star Wars.
So the thing I get from Shmi,
is
that everyone else that's dying is some type of warrior.
Yes,
that's Jedi. They're working for the army or the military, whatever.
Even Padme's body double. That was her job. Yeah,
that she was supposed to die for Padme.
Yes,
that was her job. But with Shmi, what the? I think that's where it hits more emotionally.
She was an innocent
because everybody else, she was an innocent. Everybody else was, you're in that job.
Right.
Okay, if you carry a lightsaber,
it's a great point.
You could die.
That is a great
point. You carry
point.
a blaster, you could die. That's like people in the military, same thing.
Or if you're in service to those people, there's the potential that you could get sauced. Yeah.
Yes. So you get sauced. But for her, I thought that was unnecessary, actually, in the movie. They did not have to do that. I know why they did it.
Yeah. He needed that. That was like the final.
I know. Yeah. But
But yeah, she did die hard.
I mean, it was pretty harsh.
It was heavy. That was a heavy scene.
Like everybody, like even the decapitation, it was quick and you didn't see it.
Right.
But not with her, man. That was crazy.
But it's interesting, like even with Django's decapitation, like if you run it back,
his head rolls.
You'll see the shadow of his head and like separating from the shadow of the helmet. Because a lot of people are like, well, did Boba just pick up his helmet with his dad's fucking head inside of it? Like, no. Like I think they put that in there like after the fact. It's like, oh shit, we need to do something about that. All right, so here, just put it in the shadow.
Well, it's cauterized, so it's fine.
Yeah, there's not gonna be any blood. Like so. And then Obi-Wan chopping motherfuckers' arms off in clubs again. Every time he goes to a fucking club, he's chopping somebody's limb off.
Yeah.
He cannot stay out of trouble.
That's his signature.
Right. That is his signature. I like those little nods. So I mean, it's fun when we see it later on, and then when he's like, "Oh, Anakin, why do I feel like you'll be the death of me?" It's like, oh my god. Yeah,
that's one of the lines that I wrote down about foreshadowing and went, yeah.
That's so funny.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the Acolyte. Episodes 1 and 2 of the Acolyte. It is currently getting a lot of heat online. There's a lot of controversy surrounding the Acolyte. I don't think that any of it is really founded, because most of, like, we have criticisms, but a lot of the criticisms that we're seeing is about casting choice. A lot of it is about, you know, gender and color of people's skins. And I think that's, my thing about that is, the only thing I'm going to say about that is you're talking about a science fiction franchise that takes place in a galaxy full of different races and species, and just because someone looks humanoid doesn't mean that they are human. They could have 16 hearts in their body, and they like everyone's born on different planets. They have, you know, so of course, but people are complaining that, you know, it's just like this, they're all diversity hires. It's, you know, I think all the acting was great. I think everybody did a great job. The costumes, the sets, the locations, beautiful. Chef's kiss. So far, the story, but that's it. That's my criticism. It's the story is meh. It has nothing to do with anything outside of that. No. And that's not what our show is about. We're not about
the story.
Right. We're not talking about, that's the thing. We don't know. That's why in the opening, I said we're going to be breaking some of our own rules today, but we're not talking about the things outside of the Star Wars universe. We're talking about what's happening that we see on screen. But with all of this hate that's happening online because of the Acolyte right now, I felt that we should say something. We should use our platform, use our voices. The story is mid for me right now at best. I think the twin thing, it's a played out trope. It's cheap. I think they could have gone a completely different way with that to make it still, you know, be interesting. But we're only 2 episodes in. The story could be a slow burn, and the story could take off, blow our minds. Who knows? I'm just saying, myself right now, my opinion on the story is it's mid. It's a little like meh. There were some cool things. I was disappointed to see Carrie Ann Moss get taken out first 10 minutes. I'm like, Trinity, what? Yeah. No. I thought we're going to see more. I wanted more Trinity. I wanted to see more Matrix.
I cannot agree with you more on this. I mean, we were having a conversation, you know, over text before, and sometimes you see a character and it's a known actor or actress, and it kind of pulls you out of it a little bit. And anytime I see characters, my mind immediately goes to Trinity.
Trinity, yeah.
That being said,
hey, what else have you ever seen her in?
Trinity would be an amazing Jedi. Like
and she was for 5 minutes.
Yeah, like her faith to the prophecies and all those other things would translate perfectly into this world, and only see her on screen for a few minutes, and I want the whole story. Like, I want to see her.
She handled her business.
Yeah, I was like, oh, she's dead. Like,
right?
Like, how are you going to kill Trinity? Like,
I want her to be in a back to tank somewhere.
Can she come back from the Matrix?
Right. Bring her back. I want her to be in a back to tank somewhere, and they're keeping it under wraps, healing, so they can draw out this mystery Sith or whoever it is. I really want it, but no, I think she's dead.
I think she just wanted a part of Star Wars, and probably as an actress was like, hey, can I play a part? And they're like, sure.
And she rocked it.
She did rock it, and she didn't, and she made Matrix moves. Like, legit.
She did. Like, whack, whack, whack. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I love it. I saw a meme online earlier today, and Saul, the other Jedi who's going through this. Someone was like, why does Saul have a Nemoidian accent? I was like, you guys are stupid. That's because people complained that the Nemoidians were quote unquote racist because they all had Asian accents, and then so someone said, hey, why does Saul have a Nemoidian accent? He's
Asian.
Yeah, I know that was the meme. It's a bad dad joke.
I have no issues with who they cast.
No,
unless the actor sucks.
Right.
I don't care. I don't care.
So where are you guys at with the series now?
I was meh as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Story wise, I agree. But like you said, I feel like this is one of those things that, until I get to the end, I can't give an opinion on the storyline, because Either it will come together and nail it at the ending, and I'll be like, okay, yes, that all made sense. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Or it won't work, and I'll be like, yeah, it just didn't hit for me. But we're too early into the story for me to be able to say definitively one way or the other whether or not it's good.
Yeah, we're only 2 episodes in, so it's.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I mean, I didn't have any issues with that, but
Wookiee Jedi. That's kind of cool.
Definitely.
Right? That'll be fun. That'll be our first time seeing that.
One thing I did want to, having watched Young Jedi Adventures, and I know the timeline doesn't add up to it, but if you told me that Kai grows up to be Yord, I buy it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yord is a dick, though, man.
Oh, I would buy that. I didn't even put that together.
Because
that would be cool.
What was Young Jedi Adventures? Is that 200 years before?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we said was that right?
It's way, I think at least.
Yeah. So
we'd be
it would be
the timing. I know it doesn't work, but like if you just take the picture in your mind of Kai, take it from animation to live action, and watch him grow up, I think it could be him.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. It's
too.
Yeah, Yord would be old as fuck. Yord would be 100 years. I mean, because this is 100 years before Phantom Menace, and Young Jedi is 232.
100 years before that.
Yeah, 100 years before that.
But the math doesn't work, but the visual works.
You know what? It would be interesting though if maybe we did see, a couple of the characters from Young Jedi Adventures in this, because they both take place during the High Republic era. And Kai, maybe not, but we've got some other characters in there that might maybe make an appearance. That would be fun. That'd be a fun little tie-in.
Yeah, that would be fun.
So Wookiee Jedi, I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see where that's going to go.
I know he kicked ass.
He did. He had his little ponytail, his little bun going on,
cute.
Chilling, and he had a little satchel full of flowers. My boy was just out picking some flowers,
and you bothered him.
And you're fucking with him. He's making some tea. You think he's making some herbal tea? You think it's like a special, little herby herb?
Oh, maybe.
So I'm curious to find out more, obviously, about this mysterious Sith Lord. We've seen the trailers, and so we know that everyone's going to end up fighting this dude.
How do you know it's a dude?
How do we know it's a dude?
Like we were
You're right.
We were hypothesizing. Is that a word?
That's a word. Like fiduciary.
That the other twin is actually
the
Sith.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be
without the sister knowing?
Or what if it's one of the parents? Maybe because it said that her two mothers died. So maybe.
No, I think that would be too.
Would that be too?
I think that'd be too much. But but I think your theory on it's actually the other girl, the other twin. That would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
All right.
I mean, and she's playing. That would be her playing like a triple role.
Yeah.
At that point. So I don't know. Anything can happen. But yeah, so far it's a little it's meh. But I felt the same way about The Mandalorian. When The Mandalorian came, and I love Mandalorian stuff, but when The Mandalorian came out, like those first few episodes, Star Wars Rebels, like the first season, I was like, Clone Wars, first few episodes, it's okay. But Bad Batch, the whole like first season, did not care for it.
Not a fan.
Not a fan. But that final season, all right, it got me. I'm a fan. All right,
you're going on. Okay.
All right, I'm sorry.
Now, what's our homework?
Omega. Thank you for keeping me on track. All right. So that is that. Let me pull my notes up here.
We have a child to go get.
Oh, crikey. You're right. Okay. Yeah, we got to wrap it up. So homework for next week, Succulents. You're going to be watching the amazing Clone Wars micro series fan edit, parts 1 and 2, uno and dos for our Spanish speaking listeners. So I'll make sure that we put a link to those videos in our show description. So no matter where you're listening to this, or watching it, you're going to have links to those episodes. So this fan edit, and it's also on our website, circleofnerds.com/the SWS show. There's a direct link to it there as well. If you want to watch the entire Clone Wars micro series, by all means, please do so. It's there. Each episode's only a few minutes long, so it's not a long watch. You get through it in a couple hours. Every episode of that is worth watching. Every single episode of the micro series is worth watching. None of it is canon, unfortunately, but it is all very, very good. Some of it's a little corny and cheesy, but it is very, very good. And the people that did the illustration and the animation for this, they really, really know how to illustrate Padme. So they did an outstanding job of illustrating her specifically. So be on the lookout for that. Cool. Because they give that girl some hips and some booty.
Anyway.
But anyway, it's so the Clone Wars micro series fan edit parts 1 and 2 is your homework for next week. And so, yeah, that's it. Again, you'll find links for that in the description of the show. So now it's time for our obligatory pimpage. So you can check us out on all social media at the SWS show, and be sure to subscribe to our podcast and our YouTube channel so you never miss an episode. And if you'd like some of our sweet hot merch, head on over to our merch page, circleofnerds.com/merch. And if you'd like to know what's coming up, you can always check out the timeline in our show description. So we've only got one more episode of this season before we dive into season 2 of our show. So yeah. So anybody got anything else before we head out?
No. Have a good weekend and see you
next nothing week. Now.
Next week live from Daddy Louie's Cantina. It's gonna be a good time.
Yes,
all right.
Indeed. I will see y'all
thank
in
you.
Boston.
That's right. T to the Oni is going to be there live in Boston. We're going to have such a good time.
Me too.
Fan Expo Boston. Sherry, 2 R's, 1 Y, but it's not where you think. She's going to be there live. So if you guys are in the Boston area, and if you're going to Fan Expo, come check us out. We're going to be the nerds dressed as smugglers and Mandalorians. We're going to be a little pack.
Well, I won't be at the expo.
A little clan. No, you're going to be somewhere by a pool getting drunk.
Having some adult beverages.
It's going to be hammer time for you.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. All right. So thanks, everyone, so much for tuning in this week. And as always, my little succulents, if no one does anything nice for you, do something nice to yourself. And we're going to see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I pushed the wrong button. Here we go. Bye. I love it.